since I was a child. Now it's showing its ugly face. What can I do? Music creeps into my dreams, wakes me into sweaty sheets, abandons me when nights died out. What can I do? What can I do? So I better use my legs and run before it is too late to flee. I feel there is no other way. It's what I can do, what I can do. That I want to be with you, but you know there's music too. Don't let jealousy allure you. Stop this, get right. Stop this, get right. So I better use my legs and run before it is too late to flee. I feel there is no other way. It's what I can do, what I can do. That I want to be with you, but you know there's music too. Don't let jealousy allure you. Stop this, get right. Stop this, get right.
Bidekine and we are here. We've got the EFPT Towing Championships, but we've also got Foil Mania. Yes, we've got all things foil coming in the next 4 days, and it is looking epic. I have never been here before, but the scenery and this place is just insane. If you've never been to Lake Silver Planet, you are missing out. I'm not joking. I never got excited going to a lake in the mountains, but I am now. I am now. Where you're tuning in from, let us know. I think we're live on the Windsurfing TV YouTube channel for everyone out there. We've got obviously the EFPT channel lined up as well, and obviously guys on the Engadinwind. We're linked up to everything. We've got lots of ways of chatting, so I'll try my best to keep a tab on all of them. But yeah, that's how it is. So what program have we got coming up for you today? We have got kicking off with the, well, it's the EFPT Foil Championship. We've had one event so far, which was in Austria. This is the second one. We've got 8 riders in it. We've got 2 rounds of 4 people, with the best 3 going through to a 6-man final on Saturday, by the looks of it, and then an expression session type super session on the Sunday. There's only 8 riders, so 2 riders will be missing out. We're going to do, it's the best 2 moves from 6. So we're going to do 3 runs today for each qualifying group. And when we've done that, we do another 3 tomorrow. Then we will pick our finalists for the Saturday. So we are looking good. Richard Houghton watching home in the UK. Nice one. Shonky Donkey, Ben, where are you doing the clicking odds? We're not talking about that now. We got the Engadinwind. So yeah, well, the sun's out. Is it sunny in the mountains? Well, it is apparently. Pretty good.
Keeps the extended.
You can see, actually, we're going to bring up the graphics on the screen during today, but you can actually have a look on the EFPT website, so EFPT.net. We will be bringing these graphics up on the screen, but if you want to check it out for yourself, we'll be going in. But before we do that, we're going to go and have an interview with, for me, the king of foiling freestyle. Well, he has to be the king of foiling freestyle. And it is up in the mountains. You think we're high here in the lakes. This is right up on the glacier. So impressive stuff. We're going to be having a word with the crazy man that is Mr. Freestyle, Balls Muller.
So we caught up here with Balz Muller, Swiss freestyler and foil styler, at the top of the at the top of the core patch. We saw him and just caught him practicing his yodeling.
Oh yeah.
Balz, what do you make of this place? You're back again. I mean,
hey, the air is so fresh. I mean, every breath you take, you feel the snow, the ice around, and this epic Alp scenery. No, it's awesome being up here again. I mean, we just felt snowflakes before, and I mean it's midsummer Switzerland and freezing cold.
yeah, I mean we're extremely high up. It's 10,000 feet, 3,300 meters,
Yeah.
and the lake is down just behind us. Balz, are you looking forward to the competition?
Oh yeah, I'm actually nervous being up here because I saw 2-3 kite fallers already blasting over the lake. No, can't wait to get back down there and blast on my wings and send it.
Cool. And I mean, you're going to be taking part in actually this new discipline. I mean, new discipline. You've been like at the forefront of it. Foil styling, the freestyling on the foil. When was the first time you started that, and how did it go?
Actually, it was 2 years here, and just the other day I was watching back, and the last 2 years the progress we made was insane. I mean, from the gear which is not breaking anymore to actually landing moves, fully planing on the wing, it's actually quite scary what's still going to happen in the close future. I mean, these days there are probably like 5 or 6 guys doing moves on the wings. And I think in 2-3 years we're not going to call it windsurfing anymore, we're going to call it wind foiling. I mean, it's taking over, especially here in Switzerland. I mean, at the place like here, we're so high up, the wind actually doesn't feel so strong because the wind strength is much thinner as the air is super thin, up on 1,800 meters. So with the foil we're blasting every day, and I mean, this year I've been so much sailing. Like, I mean, I've been almost every day on the water. and freestyling, so normal fin surfing, I've been 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, we can see you're making a lot of progression on the foil. I mean, you're also ripping it in the normal freestyle without the foil. What's the main like differences between that when you go on the water now after like 2 years of practice? How is that different, and how do you apply maybe what you learn in one to the other?
It's for sure the biggest progress were the new foils, which are much easier to sail. I mean, at first foiling is super hard. It's super tricky to stand on the wing and actually control the wing. And now these days it's just I can close my eyes and I'm foiling super smooth with my new wings and foils, and that's a big difference. And it makes me, it just offers so many opportunities to actually send it on the foil, and you're flying out the orbit once you get this lift from the wings. You get much more pop compared to normal windsurfing. I mean, out of flat water these days it's possible to do backflips and front flips.
It's crazy, man. It's
crazy
what you're doing.
And you get so much lift. I would say compared to fin surfing, you get like 2.5, 3 meter more lift, which is insane.
So what's the craziest move you've done then on the foil?
I think it's still the shifty, which still scares me because it's a hard rotation and you actually get a lot of lift out of the wings, but you don't have the sail power. And for this move, you sort of need the sail power. But in foiling, I'm like this. I'm like holding the boom like this, and there's no sail power. I'm flying in 10 knots wind, which is like 0 wind, and that's the biggest difference to normal windsurfing. So it needs quite a bit of adaptation there, because you're actually sailing way more sensitive. So the double air cooler and double air burn is getting closer and closer, which is a scary rotation.
We've heard rumours,
yeah.
huh?
Let's hope we get some good wind here, and then
we can show some of it.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'm also freaking scared of those foil wings, as they're. I mean my wing is like a kitchen knife. You easily can cut tomatoes with it. And also faces.
I mean, they can get you back pretty good, huh?
I heard our cameraman had a go on a foil and a jet foil, and
had a little scrape yesterday, near miss. Cool, pals. So, what about the other people, the guys who are also doing it? There are other guys doing it. Your brother.
Yeah, my brother gets to a point where each session I'm scared from him, because he's not able to do those air scope boosts like big moves in normal windsurfing. And now with the foil he starts sending it, he gets way bigger and way higher than normal windsurfing, and I'm just scared that he loses his strap and one day gonna end up on the wing. And
like you have?
Like I did, yeah. But no, I mean, and on the other hand, Roham, Michael Neff, he's only foiling. I mean, and he makes so big progress. The last 2-3 months he was landing coolos and trying burners and whatever on the foil. He's not able to doing it in normal windsurfing. So no one can tell me it's impossible to do moves with a foil.
So we've got Jack Norris and Raw Ham. But what about like people in the freestyle fleet? Are there any of the guys coming up and trying?
I mean, we got Steven and Jentel up here, and it's
they're both going to try.
I hope so. It's my project to get them on the foil doing tricks, but it's been a hard time. I mean, I'm trying to motivate them. I've been training all winter with them. I've been flying, blasting every day on my foil, and they've been windsurfing normal. I don't know what it needs to actually motivate them.
Where would you actually? That's a good idea. Like where would you say for someone who just wants to start it?
Yeah.
Like what would you say to do? What's the first thing?
Just don't be scared of the wings and send it into a back loop. Just go into your straps and you're flying. You drop a bit down. Don't touch the surface, but just fly down, and then you pop up like a normal back. You push the back leg and you fly out the water, and you end up being 2.5-3 meters above the surface doing a backflip rotation. It's not that hard to land. I mean, it's for sure gonna happen these next years.
Yeah, I mean, there's more people trying and trying. Yeah. What would you say is the world's hardest move?
Yeah, we're gonna see. Maybe people gonna walk up the Mount Everest and trying the highest ever culo in windsurf history. No, I think the highest windsurf moves will happen here this week, because the progress we did in wind foiling was never as crazy as the past weeks. Every session I call my best session lately, which is insane because every day it's progressing.
It's crazy. Yeah?
It's progressing like hell.
Cool. So, Bells, there's rumours of the double air burner on the foil.
It's a 720 rotational windsurfing, and actually it's this move been in my head for years already. I think it's 3 or 4 years we're trying this move in normal windsurfing, and I never got the lift and the pop for the spin and rotation. And now with the foil, suddenly it's happening. It's getting there. I mean, I got spins which were already 720 fully in the air, and I think 900 will be possible as well, which is a lot of spin, a lot of rotation.
A lot of air rotation, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. And so what about regular stance as well? Is that, do you find that harder between switch and regular, or is it?
Actually, the switch stance is like the rotation when you push the sail against the wind, backwind, feel more natural, because you can control it easier on the landing because you push the sail again into the wind. Regular stance, it's harder because you're backwinded and you twist it with your body, but it's gonna happen for sure. It's just a matter of time, and I think it's a matter of for sure they're gonna be a small Japanese or Chinese kid doing those quad triples quite soon.
Quad
corks or whatever. I mean, the question is not to try it, the question is to land it, and that's the point. I mean,
well,
everyone can send it.
We see you are. So awesome. Thanks very much, Bells Muller. We'll see you on the water.
In the water.
Back to the studio.
So there we go, back in. Balls Muller, Mr. Freestyle. I don't think anyone else could steal that title off him. Impressive stuff on a foil. And we've got him coming up. He's going to be fitting in between, just in case you don't know. This is what we've got coming up today. We've got the EFPT tow-in. It's the first official event that will count for the overall rankings. They had a one-off event in Austria earlier this year. Sam and Steve winning that. But this one will be the official one. And then this afternoon we've got Foil Mania kicking in, where we have the IFCA Foil World Championships. You have a lot of the big players here to try and take that title. It's a one-off event, so one person will be the IFCA Foil World Champion. And then also we have the first ever MB battle, which is the champion, or they're calling it the championship of the planet, the champion of the planet. Well, it will be, because we've got, I think, four foil freestylers. I think 4. We'll soon find out who's crazy enough to do it. We've heard Yentl Cares might be entering, but he's turned out he hasn't got a board to do it. So he's going to be, but Balls Muller will be there. I'm sure the Balls Muller bro family will be doing it, because they are keen on the foil freestyle. That's coming up this afternoon. Then we're going to go back into the racing. So just foil freestyle. Sorry, that will be doing the foil freestyle. What we're going to do before we kick off with today's proceedings, we're going to check out a little highlight clip from last year, just to show you what we've got going on, because there's a few people questioning the tow-in. Is it got its place? It definitely has here. It's glassy conditions. You can put the action right on the beach, gets people warmed up. Then obviously when that thermal kicks in, we're going to racing. So here's a bit of a clip of what happened last year in the tow-in. So there you go. That is what we've got coming up in the EFPT tow-in. And actually, weirdly, they've actually invented moves in the tow-in which have gone into the outside. So I think the Pasco, came from a tow-in, which is crazy to think. That's how these moves have come about. A lot of the moves you're going to see coming from backwinded, so funnels, burners, that sort of stuff is what we're going to see coming up in the tow-in. I did mention foil freestyle. Yes, that's going to be coming up. It's going to be the first ever foil freestyle event. Obviously, Balls Muller is probably the top seed in that. But Jacob, his brother, is looking pretty hot as well. He's been training super hard and crazy. And we have got an intro video to foil freestyle. So if you don't know what I'm on about and you're thinking, what are you on about, Ben? Foil freestyle? You've not been following Balls Muller and his brother, I'd say, over the last year or so. You won't have a clue. But here we go. Check out the intro to foil freestyle. Okay, so there we go. That is foil freestyle. Old school with a bit of new school. Well, I mean, I kind of like the old school moves. Those carving 360s have never looked so good. The duck tack always gets me, which is kind of crazy. How are they going to morph into the average, you know, person sailing? I think we will see some stuff, so I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we are on the live on the Windsurfing TV YouTube channel. We're also on a few Facebook channels as well, obviously the EFPT, because this is the EFPT towing. Yes, the first official ranking event, and we've got Lennon Neubauer, I should say, from, well, he's German, but he's living over in Greece. And he is a talent. He's already pretty much taken home the youth championships in the normal windsurfing in the EFPT. Obviously, Yentl Cares has won the main event already. He's just been smashing out the performances. You can see Lennon Neubauer on the other side getting ready for his run, and that is how you start in the towing, perched on the side of the road by the looks of it. I mean, you don't know how high these mountains are behind. I mean, it's absolutely, we're going to see some shots today which you will, well, I don't know, I think you might think I might go visit Lake Silver Planner up there in the mountains. It is probably one of the most beautiful settings I've ever seen for a windsurfing event. So these close-ups are going to be excellent for the action, but I don't think they do the scenery justice. But you wait till you see the water cams and you see what's behind these guys. It is crazy. So Lennon Neubauer, we're going to do 3 runs. We've got 4 riders, Lennon Neubauer, we got Jeremy Plus, we got Yentl Cares and Ricardo Marker. So 4 guys in this first elimination.
Can someone
3 guys will be going through to the final, so only 1 missing out. You got to feel for him, haven't you? 1 guy missing out. You're like, oh no, you're going to feel gutted on the final time. But that's just how it is. So there will be 6 people in the run. We're going to do 3 runs, and then we're going to go into heat number 2, which will be Balls Muller, Marco Lufen, Adrian Bosson, and Stephen Van Brockhoven. So we have some big names in the normal windsurfing world, let alone in the towing world. Like I said, this towing is kind of taken over, I would say, from the indoor windsurfing. Obviously, a lot easier to bring it to the public and put the show right next to the beach without having to rely on the wind. Obviously, if it was super windy here, I think they might end up doing a bit of normal windsurfing, obviously. But when you've got glassy conditions like this in Silver Planner in the morning, it's good to get the boys warmed up, get the crowd going, and putting on the show. Because for anyone who says towing isn't windsurfing, it is. It's just apparent windsurfing. Literally, it's apparent windsurfing. Maybe they should call it that. Apparent windsurfing. I don't know, but you can see how much pop these boys get. I have heard Amado Vrieswijk is here for today, and today only, yes. He's come in for 1 day, so he won't be making the final, but is he going to do some runs, Adam?
That's right, he was just doing some of the training runs. And he was just here for a couple of days. I think he was really enjoying the scenery the last few days, and now he's
got the missus here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, they've been doing a bit of a road trip around Europe, and I think he has to head off to where is he? So I think back up to Amsterdam or something. He has some business to deal with up there.
Business, very busy boy, that boy.
Businessman. Yeah. So he's He's not going to be competing, but he did put on a few moves earlier. So.
Okay, so he's just been out there warming up. So Amanda Vriesic won't actually be entering the main event. Like I say, 8 riders in it. Leonard Neubauer, Jeremy Plous, Jens Kers, and Ricardo Marken. Here he is, first man up, Leonard Neubauer, the young German ripper living over in Greece. What's he got for us straight off the bat? Well, I didn't see that. But he landed it. It looked nice and clean. Oh, no, he didn't land it. It looked like he messed it up just on that replay. Let's say, I kind of lost the camera angle there, but we will be seeing the scores come through. If you want to see the live scores, we're going to be pulling them up on the screen, as far as I know. But they also are on the EFPT.net site. Just click on the live, and we will have the live scoring straight up for you. Then Neubauer, so we're just waiting for his score to come in. Next rider up after Leonard Neubauer will be Jeremy Plous. So we'll be getting ready for his round when we get Leonard. So it's an air funnel coming in at 4.25. I would be right in thinking they're out of 10.
It is, I believe it's out of 10 now, yeah. So for the visual system, it's out of 10. If people want to check the live scoring, obviously they can go on the EFPT page. We'll try and bring it up screen later. We're just working on a workaround for that, as we have a small issue there. And I don't think we'll see that same camera mistake again.
Okay, so we've got the live scoring. If you do want to see it as it comes through, you can go on EFPT.net, click on the live, and you will see 4.25 air funnel, Leonard Neubauer. So he's got some scores on the boards. He's in first place at the moment. That's a good thing. Obviously, there's only one person been, but you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. Because he has been absolutely destroying it in the outside world of proper windsurfing, not the apparent windsurfing. Camera operator needs a coffee. Don't you worry. He's been fed coffee. He's ready to go. It's just there's a few trees in the mountains. That's the problem here. It's just getting where the target zone is, because some people are going to be doing moves in different places. So we will sort that out. Don't you worry. Where you tuning in from? Where you watching? Looks like there's a few guys on there. DH Ram on YouTube says Balls Muller Radiculo. Yes, I'm sure he's going to be doing a few Radiculos. Pascal says needs more than coffee. Don't worry. 4.2.5. We're just hearing this familiar voice of Roberto Hoffman. If anyone hasn't seen that clip of actual Roberto Hoffman actually sailing back in the day in Lake Garda, well worth. I'm going to put that on Windsurfing TV. I forgot actually, but I did see it online. He can windsurf pretty well. He's obviously very fast as well. Been over 50 knots. The old beach commentator here. Beach commentator a lot of places. He's got some speed, but back in the day, he had a few freestyle moves. He's kind of shocked me. I've got to be honest. I've never seen the Hoff in action quite like that. G.I. Joe says hi from northern Germany. No wind here since weeks. You're going to have to get a Grinch. Is it a Grinch or a winch? What do they call it? Call it something like that. Get your own one. Have it solar panelled Grinch. Eco-friendly. I don't know how it works though. I've not been too many times towed in. Jeff Ratburn says, are you going to Tiree Bend in October? I will be there. Not quite the mountains we've got here like in Switzerland. Okay, let's just switch over and have a look at the EFPT Facebook page. Uda Johanna Brodal is tuning in. Looks windy. It's classy, mate. Classy. If only we had like a 4-foot swell rolling in, it would be insane. But we got the boys from the FPT putting on the show, and here he is. He is the European champion in 2020. Gives them the signal to he's ready to go. Jens Kers, obviously, new sponsors this year with Point 7 and Nova boards. And he's done and proud so far. Took his first title, like I say, the European Freestyle Pro Short title. I can't even speak. But he's won that with events to spare, which is pretty impressive. And here he goes, up and running. You can just see the takeoff. It's not as easy as it looks. If you've ever tried freestyle towing, it's all about the apparent wind. When you see that sail back wind, you know he's got the pop, and he's going to use that off the bait. Oh, how is that for an opening move? Yes, he's going to like that for sure. Do we call that an air funnel funnel? Is that what we call in that, boys?
Air funnel 360.
Air funnel 360. It depends on how you name the moves, but essentially it's a funnel. So although he doesn't duck the rig, like in outside windsurfing, you'd have to duck the rig.
That's a Yentl clip soon.
Got a bit of a
We've
Yentl.
we've got a nice preview, or not a preview, but we've got a nice clip of how Yentl Cares has done some damage this year. Some of the footage from him in the previous years competing, specifically in Lanzarote, and how he's actually sitting there now as the European champion. And
Yeah, he's been absolutely killing. We're just going to wait for that score to come through. Yentl Cares jumping the gun actually, because Jeremy Plus is meant to be before him. But Yentl Cares, like I say, European Freestyle Pro Tour champion already in 2019. And we do have a clip. Are we going to show that now?
Yeah, we can go to that now.
We're going to have a quick look at it now, just how he did in the outdoors. Killed it. Live stream win. Okay, we're back in. By the sounds of it, we are back in. Little clip there from Yentl Cares, how he demolished the field, literally. And he had some tough opponents. You can see there, that last clip with Bosson, who is not an easy person to beat. And he's up there in the Peterway as well. We've got to mention it. He is looking maybe world titles. Seen Joop Smith just got injured with a nasty knee injury. He's already had keyhole surgery. Will he be right for Silt? If not, Yentl Cares is looking like he could be, well, taking home all the trophies this year. He's in a very good position. So yeah, that's how we're looking. If you are just tuning in, we're here for the Van Nora Engadinwind by Dakine, and it's Foil Mania. We've got IFPT Foil World Championship coming up this afternoon. Probably 6 races maximum a day. That's going to be coming up in the afternoon. We've also got Foil Freestyle. Guess what? Yeah, Balls Muller is obviously here, and the rest of the Muller clan. Plus a couple of other crazy Swiss, I think. The Swiss seem to be just embracing the Foil Freestyle. And then obviously we've got the EFPT Towing Championships, which is going on right now. The last score has come in, and it's an 8.19 for Yentl Cares, takes the lead with the air double funnel. Air double air funnel. Air double air funnel. Okay. I would have said air funnel to funnel, but maybe the boys are definitely going. It was big though. It was absolutely massive. Like I say, with the towing, you don't actually have to duck the rig. So this is Riccardo Marca kicking off. Fanatic duotone setup, the Italian. If you haven't checked out the Instagram page, you've got to check it out. It's got some crazy modelling shots on there. And here he goes. What's he got? Got to be a funnel, surely. Oh, kind of a little off axis. Just didn't quite get the landing. Obviously super hard to land with no wind. But when you get the right rotation, just got to get your body weight right on top of the board. You're probably thinking, Ben, what do you know? Have you ever done freestyle towing? I'll tell you what, I was one of the first. I remember Poole Harbour. Actually, pool in the sea.
Out of your mind.
But we were doing spocks behind the boat, which Adam's sitting next to me. Adam Sims is obviously one of the masters of the spock into something behind the boat, and the spock is one of the nastiest moves you can do, because if you catch an edge, you are going for the. It's just one of the worst wipeouts ever. Air funnel coming in at 1.81, so not the highest score for Riccardo Marca. Sitting in last place in this heat so far, but with one rider left to go. Jeremy Plus, I haven't actually seen him He's been keeping a low profile since I arrived last night, but he will be coming up, no doubt about it. He should be lining up.
I
as
also
we
haven't
speak.
seen him actually. It's
No.
funny you say that. I think he's definitely keeping a very low profile. But I don't even know if he's on the scene yet. If he's here.
No, I haven't seen him. I've seen everyone, but I haven't seen him. I
Ultra
thought
low profile.
he was meant to be second in the running order, and he didn't show then. So maybe that's a sign that maybe he's not going to turn up. We'll keep an eye on it. It could be.
Straight to Lena.
Yeah, it could be back straight to the German. Neubauer. My best German. Let's have a look. Let's tune in. We've got Pascal on YouTube going, there was some wind like last week. Was there wind here last week in Silver Planner?
Overnight there was, yeah.
Was that? Yeah.
A strong wind in terms of freestyle, yeah. Overnight there was a lot of strong wind. There's this Julia wind, they call it. It comes from the Julia Pass, which is up behind us. It's actually across the lake, which is pretty rare for lakes that are surrounded by such high mountains.
Gusty?
It's just in one area. It channels down through this valley that kind of comes into the middle of the lake from the side here. But the normal winds come from the top of the lake. It's the Malaya wind, and it comes down later in the afternoon as a thermal, as the mountains heat up and stuff like this.
Pulls it through the gap.
Yeah, pulls it in up the valley, and then it drops in through there. So
And what sort of wind strength are we talking?
it gives a really steady wind, and it's usually around 12 to 15 knots. So
Foil-tastic.
it is foil-tastic. Yeah, it's perfect. So.
Yeah, so we are, like I say, this is Foil Mania, that's what they're calling it, and that will all be kicking off this afternoon when the wind kicks in. But what do you do when there's no wind in the morning? Do a bit of towing. Yeah, why not? And probably survive the hangovers, because there are some parties planned for this week. Yes, there is. Apparently, I've been given the rundown, and we've got, I think, #1 in the charts. I guess here in Switzerland, he's #1 in the charts.
#1.
He is rocking out for an hour on Saturday night, I heard. So we'll bring you news of that. I'd say he's a new name for me. And there's breakdance shows going on. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. It's going to be pretty exciting. Now, obviously, we've got the King of the Mountain Foil Freestyle coming up, sponsored by MB Boards. Obviously, Bulls Muller, I'm sure, has had a bit of an interest in that. We've got the Foil World Championships with the racing, but for now, we've got the towing EFPT. 3 riders going through from the first round, I guess, and 3 from the second, or is it just 6 in general? I think it's 3 and 3. So one of these riders we're missing out. At the moment, Jeremy Ploos is looking like he's going to have a big comeback on his hands, because this is Leonard Neubauer, who's sitting in second place in the first one. We've seen a fair few funnels. They can't do the same move twice. It won't count. So they do have to mix it up. Here we go. Oh, it's a very similar move. Is that trying for the burner, or is that still classed as a funnel?
That's a funnel. So
Yeah,
it's
still.
a kind of air funnel.
They like
yeah,
the air
just an
funnel.
air funnel.
It's
trying to
kind
spin.
of, I would say, just from my experience of towing, that is the go-to move. Get something in the bag, funnel related, and then you're going to see people mixing it up. Obviously, when the guys mix it up, that's what's going to score the bigger points, because we're used to seeing the same thing, so they want to see variety. Well, 2 moves will count from 6 runs. We're only going to do 3 runs today, 2 eliminations. Okay. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. We do say we're going to have an interesting morning. Only 8 riders in it, 2 heats of 4, and 3 runs from each rider. So we're racking through. Then we'll have a little bit of a break here on the live stream. We're going to come back this afternoon with the IFPT Foil World Championships and the MB battle. Yes, the King of the Mountain battle on that foil freestyle, which will be super interesting. Here we go. This is the trailer. Okay, so back in. There we go. Still on with the freestyle. That's how it's looking. I mean, it is, and it's probably one of the most scenic. Well, it is the most scenic venues I have ever been to. They also have an Engadinwind snow edition, I guess, a winter one, where they go up in the mountains. And I mean, Christian, the guy who organised this whole thing, was kind of showing me the run, because obviously there's not much snow on it now. There's a bits of snow up there, but it's not the full snowy. And the cliffs there, they're coming down look insane. So I can't even imagine how that works up there. But we've got kind of a view from it here. It's about, what, another 2,000 metres up there?
Yeah, it's super impressive. I actually worked during that event also with the Highlight Productions, and they're literally dropping down this vertical cliff through this channel, which actually had a massive rockfall earlier this year, and it's filled up a lot of the valley in the middle there. I mean, you can't see it on screen at the moment. But, we'll bring some of that in the show later today, in the slalom foil show, and we can show some scenes of that. But it's impressive. They're dropping these crazy lines, super deep powder, huge cliff drops, throwing backflips off it and stuff like that. It's amazing place to be. There's so much to do here at any time of the year, and then when you go up there, you see all these mountain bike trails. Amado was actually up there with Ricardo Marca yesterday, 2 days ago, sorry, just enjoying the mountain bike trails, saying how much fun it was. They took the e-bike up and just went. But anyway, back to action. Looks like Jentel Kers is about to go.
Yeah, Jentel Kers, obviously, he's won the European Freestyle Pro Tour for 2019 with an event to spare. So he is on form. He's leading the world title race. Well, he's kind of joint points with Hugh Smith. Hugh Smith obviously having that nasty injury training over in Bonaire. So yeah, it's looking like a good year for Jentel Kers. Can he take the foil title as well? Well, I wouldn't put it against him, because looking at the results so far, he's leading 8-1-9 with an double air funnel, or a double air funnel, I guess.
Double air funnel, that's like a double rotation almost in the air, with the air funnel rotation.
I think they're being kind there, mate. I think they're being kind. It was still sick though. It was massive. The first funnel was that's probably what they gave the double air for, because he was double the height of any other funnel we've seen.
Exactly.
He's actually massive.
I think the thing here, actually, you have to look at like last year, and we had Bowles doing like no-handed burner 360s, actually just out of the competition, and so Jentel will want to step that up. He knows that, and let's see what he's got for us.
Yeah, he's got a solid score in the bag already, so we might see him mixing it up now. Jentel Kers, all the way from Belgium. Oh, he wants that. It was a prop. It was like a Pasco almost.
It was a burner 360 all in there.
Yeah.
They might even score it as a double air burner, as you see there on the replay. You might see that they even score as that. They do sometimes, all the air burner 360. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to brush up, because they look very similar to the first move to me.
It would be nice to see some variation. I mean,
yeah.
The thing is, the ramp offers a lot in height, but a bit of restriction in terms of moves. And I've sometimes myself tried to do like a Spock or something before the move, and before the ramp, and then try to do a move off the ramp. And it's worked sometimes, but it's so high risk.
Yeah.
So the guys want to stick down some moves to get through to the final, and then maybe in the final we're going to see a bit of diversity going in as well.
Yeah, dead cool on that. A double burner 360, you're right. So that's just the angle of the sail, surely. As soon as the angle of the mast goes below the board, that's when it's a burner.
Yeah, I mean, my personal thoughts, and I'm sure Jentel would actually agree with me, to be honest, is that the double burner, you know, the second rotation, the sail should go down. There should be a clear push.
Yeah.
If you compare it to the double air culo, which is the same move essentially, just the feet in regular stance as opposed to switch, the sail goes down a second time. It's not sort of held back into just a kind of flat spin.
Well, that's what I mean. Looking at that from the outside point of view, it looks like a Pasco, but obviously he's back-winded, and that's why it's called a different move, basically. Because if you're watching outside and you've seen some of the other moves, it can be confusing watching the toe in, because that's just kind of how it is. They're back-winded. They've got the apparent wind, which is where they're getting that pop from, where they're getting the height from. So, you know, it is windsurfing. It's just apparent windsurfing. So they're just using that push to jump into these moves. And if you, like I say, if you follow freestyle on the outside, you'll know they duck the sail and then get powered up from the back. And essentially that's what's happening when you're getting towed behind the boat. You're getting that power all the way from the back of the sail. So Yentel Cares still leading at the moment, although 3.19 coming in for that second move from Yentel. It's not going to probably be a counting move at the end of the week, or hopefully for him it won't be a counting move. If it is, he might be struggling to make that final. We've got Anchon Otegi over there in Lanzarote, Costa de Gizeh. Obviously, we watched that clip from Yentel Cares before. That was over there in Lanzarote. I think that was where he put the finishing touches to that European title. A lot of the freestylers loving it over in Lanzarote. You get a good mix of flat water on the inside, little bit of sort of chop, small waves as you go out, and then the bigger waves off the reef at the end. So you get to do a bit of jumping, you get to do a bit of flat water freestyle as well. Pretty solid. And Anchon Otegi, if you don't know, he was a hell freestyler back in the day. I'm sure he can still bust out the few moves. Does he enter the events? Does he ever enter the events anymore, EFPT? Does he not just come up and have a do?
It would be fun, wouldn't it?
I'm sure he could upset the proceedings. And there we go. That's you can see the scores on the leaderboard now. Yentel Cares 819 for that first one. That was that double air final. Okay, we've got another rider coming up. This is Ricardo Marca. Got a bit of work to do. Didn't have his best run. 181 was his first run, and here he goes to set the record straight. We're going to see another funnel surely. Oh.
Huge
Wow, that
burner
was
360,
massive.
really nice one.
That's the difference between the funnel and the burner. Look, sail goes down. Oh, coming through. I still want to call it a Pasco every day of the week, but it's not. It's a burner.
That's very much more a burner. Like the sail is more, as you throw the move, the sail goes down a lot more, like, you know, more level with the waterline.
More like a ponch.
Yeah, Pasco is more, I mean, unless you're Tonky Franz,
Yes.
Pasco is more, it's more like a big air flacker where the sail stays very vertical and upright.
Yeah.
And then you really push against it as you rotate, and you keep pushing the whole time as you go around until you land. And it looks like an air funnel. I mean, you know, because we don't have wind, some people decide to call it the flacker variations of that kind of, you know, that family of moves, or the funnel variation.
It's the upwind rotation, but like I said, the difference is the backwind of the sail. So, you know, anyone new to watching freestyle towing, don't be upset that you're like, hey, hang on a minute, okay. But there are slight little variations, but they do mean a lot. I think, personally speaking, watching this, it would be nice to see them do this Spock into something, or, you know, just to mix it up. Maybe they wouldn't be, they're only allowed to try one, just to sort of push the envelope, because I have a feeling, just from what we've seen so far, we're going to be seeing a lot of the funnel burner rotations. And I think we'll be seeing that until they get the moves in the bank. Once they've got a couple of good ones, then they're going to push it. We've seen Scopus before, I think, behind the boat. Konos as well, but they're not as easy without wind, just with the apparent wind. But hopefully we'll get someone pushing outside the box, so to speak. And hopefully they're rewarded if they do push outside the box, because there's definitely more risk. This is the safer route to put something solid in the bag. So what we're going to see is, if they go down the safer route, what the judges want to see is height. They want to see and rotation. So height and number of rotations. Obviously, if you're in the air for the double rotation, that is going to score big points. We've got Harold saying in Germany we call it awesome. Yes, there we go. I won't try and read the grossartig. I don't know. My German, as we know, is not great. It is nicht so gut. Tandem. You want to send someone out on the tandem? You get a bit of tandem.
Someone's been watching the highlights.
Okay.
We had that last year. I think Bowles took out the tandem board, but just on his own. And tried to do something, but as you can imagine, it didn't work out too well. So
that sounds like carnage. Yeah. Absolute carnage. Anyone doing any foil freestyle towing? Does that happen?
Bowles tried with the foil also last year.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
This guy's tried everything.
He is nuts. Let us know, who's your favourite? Who's your favourite windsurfer? Or who's your favourite freestyler? Who do you follow the most? Who gives you the most entertainment? I'm sure Balls will be up there. Interesting to know, you know, what you guys out there are watching, what you're looking at, what inspires you, what makes you go, oh my God, or who gives the most information? You know, like, be interesting to see, because I'm sure there's a few guys who sort of fly under the radar. We'll give them a bit of a shout out. Some guys out there doing a lot of good stuff. So at the moment, still Yental Cares leading. Ricardo Marquez gonna need to step it up. That landing obviously getting punished. 3.25 coming in.
Come back and do that because it'll be better. We can get those clips later. Apologies if you hear me directing a little bit in the background. I've got the camera guys just running around. Got a radio here, so we're just communicating with them a little bit.
We're going to have a little bit of a share around just while we're on there. And if you are obviously watching, you like what you're seeing, don't be scared to give us a share. Everyone sharing is caring, as we know. Next up, we've got the young gun, Len Neubauer. What's he got for us? Is he going to mix it up? He hasn't really got any big moves in the bank, so we might see that funnel variation. This is to get into the final, or a bit more of a burner free, and then he's going to land it with no wind. How do they mark the landings like that? That's the question, because he's landed it, but obviously with no wind, he wasn't quite balanced on top of his board. So to land this in the toe-in arena, you really got to get your weight on top of the board, otherwise obviously the wind doesn't keep you up. But I don't think he's going to be penalised too much for that landing.
No, I think it looked pretty solid in my opinion. Like he was there, you know, standing for a moment. So let's see how those scores come in. But I think, you know, I don't think he'll be penalised too much.
Well, we'll wait to see what the judges think of it, because that's who gets ultimately the last call as soon as those scores come in.
Ben, give us a run through of your towing experience.
My towing experience, well, like I say, this is Pool Windfest, I think it was called back in the day.
Yeah.
I was on Neil Pride JP at the time, so it must have been 2003, 2002, and trying to do Spocks. Made a couple, but that was about it, and that felt like, and it was, the hardest thing was, I remember when we first did it, was just getting towed. Just actually get going, because there was no rules. No one knew what to do. We had up all, and then someone said, oh, you've got to hold the up all, and someone said this. No one knew. Well, there you go, 6-3-1 coming in for Len Neubauer there. Not bad, not bad. Well, he's solidly in the top three, because Jeremy Ploos, at the moment, is a no-show. Where is Jeremy Ploos? Answers on a comment. I was going to say on a postcard, but postcard would be pretty useless up here in the mountains. So get involved in the comments. Let us know where Jeremy Ploos is. Does anybody know where Jeremy Ploos is?
I think maybe he's too busy doing some rock concerts. This guy's been has pushed into music quite a lot lately, and he's been touring Europe quite a bit with a band. He's an impressive, super impressive drummer. And he's been on tour quite a bit, so maybe he's had a concert last night. He's had to be at somewhere, and you know, it's a bit further away. Sometimes they're playing in another city in a different country, and they've got to travel to the next concert in a.
Oh, so he's big time.
Yeah, I mean he's all over. Yeah, so
cool.
But he's squeezing some windsurfing in between. We see some updates and. He's ripping still.
No doubt about it. I mean, the guy is a ripper. I mean, obviously Swiss, so he can't. Where does he live? Does he live close to here?
I think he's from the Bielefeld, from the same place Bowles is from.
Okay, easy.
So Yentul Cares coming up, European champion.
Here he is, the man. I was going to say the myth, the legend, but no, it's just Yentul Cares. European champ. That looks big. That looks a great takeoff, and there we go. That's how you do it. How you landed, no wind. Absolutely insane.
It's that balance at the end is just
just
unreal,
lands so on top of the gear. Oh mate, that was absolutely seamless.
Yeah.
Can they give 10s for that, or is there a specific move that gets 10s?
I don't see why not. I mean,
from what we've seen so far, that was a good couple of points better.
Really good, yeah. To be honest, it was super clean, so I don't see why he shouldn't be getting near 10 on that. 9-5s, 10s. You know, sometimes they don't reward it the whole way up because they want to see a handoff, or you know,
or something a bit more.
Exactly.
Well, we're about to find out what the judges are going to give. So they've give 819 for his first double air funnel. So, what will this be? Airburner 3?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be. I mean,
I have to check these names sometimes, but
yeah.
for me, that's what I would class it as. But it's going to be big. We're sure it's going to be big. We're waiting for the scores to drop.
See how they come in.
Gentle Cares, absolutely storming in 2019. I think he might have some contract money coming in. A few people will be looking at him. JP got rid of him, or he left, or something happened.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, it's
They're going to be like, oh,
pretty happy
maybe we
with
should
you
have
now,
kept
though.
him. Maybe we should have kept him. Oh. Is that 688? Am I missing something? Okay, so obviously the judges like the double air funnel more by the looks of it. But still, I mean, it's a solid score, 688. So obviously they are looking for a bit more variety.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that maybe the last one was just a lot higher.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and a bit more off-axis rotation. They are filming there with phones and stuff like this, playing it back, checking things, checking the previous ones. They are checking that. Also, they're looking on the live stream and see, because there's a bit of a delay between the live action and actually when it goes
Okay.
out. So
they're getting a little bit of a instant replays of the action. If you are just joining us, this is the Van Ora Engadinwind by Dakine. We've got Foil Mania coming up in the afternoons here in Switzerland at Silver Planet Lake. But as for the mornings, it's going to be all about the towing. Probably a couple of hours or an hour of towing as we move into this. Is the first round. Each rider gets 3 runs, so this is probably the last run we're going to see of this first heat. Here we go. Marker. Oh, we had to bail there. Foot just got stuck on that second
painful on the
rotation.
foot, didn't it?
That could have been an ankle snapper, literally. How glassy is the water, though? It looked good. Then you could see his back foot just got a little bit loose, and then had to make the exit. So you see that theatrical jump off, but that's actually just to save the 1 foot staying in and your whole body twisting around the foot strap. A lot of guys using high and narrow foot straps. I think seen it on a few videos, and the top boys have always mentioned it, but you don't want the low wide ones. The flat wide ones are the ones that grip the top of the foot, and that's how you can do damage to the metatarsals and Lisfranc joint. So you want to have the straps tight but high, so your foot can actually spin in the strap. And I think in freestyle, when you try moves like this, makes a big difference. So I think that's going to be it for the first round. So Jeremy Plouffe not getting his 3 rounds in. He's going to have to make a late comeback tomorrow. It will be 2 moves counting from 6, so he will have a good chance still to make it. Third highest score at the moment is only 6.25 from Ricardo Marca. 3 points coming for the last one. So to be honest with you, he's really not in a bad position, Jeremy Plouffe. If he was to turn up tomorrow and smash it, he can still make that final. So, is drummer, guitarist?
Drummer. Absolutely
He
crazy
looks like a drummer, to be
Yeah.
fair. Looks like a Kai Catch drawing drummer. He's got a bit more hair. Kai used to have a bit of hair, but it all comes out. I know that. Jeremy, don't worry, mate. He'll still be there. You can still look at the pictures. Next up, we've got the second elimination. We've got some big names in this one. Balls Muller. Yes, we've got Balls Muller with Marco Lufen, Adrian Bosson and Stephen van Broekhoven. This is a tight old setup, this.
That's a that looks pretty heavy to me.
Yeah, that is hectic.
No.
That's not going to be easy. Stephen van Broekhoven, obviously fresh from his result over in Fuerteventura. Good to see Stephen back on top. He's up there in 3rd in the PWA rankings. He's been doing the EFPTs, but I think Yentel Cares has been his nemesis here on the EFPT and has been smashing him a few times. And then Stephen said it felt pretty good to beat him on the PWA after getting smashed a few times on the EFPT.
Just holding his ground a little bit, you know, like I'm still there, you know.
Yeah.
I still got it.
So yeah, good to see.
But it's interesting how they are backwards and forwards like crazy with the heats and stuff. It's not always someone's, you know. You can never say if Yentl or Stephen's going to win that when they face each other.
Yeah,
That's
Steve
all.
said it was always going just edging the wrong way for him, and he was feeling a bit hard done to sometimes. So when he finally had it at the PWA, I think he was pretty chuffed with how that went down. Anyone who thinks it's not warm here in Switzerland, you'd be wrong. It's blooming boiling. It's absolutely toasty out there. I think not at night, but in the day, the sun comes out. I've not spent much time in the mountains. Obviously, we're closer to the sun up here, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Yesterday we went up to the top of the mountain. If anyone was tuned in earlier or whoever was tuned in earlier for that interview we did with Bowles, we were right up the top, 3,300 meters, and the temperature difference is crazy.
Cold?
Yeah, freezing. We had the full winter jackets on and stuff, and it was really cold up there. Like, not really cold. It was fine with the jackets.
Like
I
Hollyacca?
still had the boardies on.
Okay,
And,
rocking the boardies.
But it was fine, that worked. But coming down, you noticed it actually coming back into the valley when you got out the cable car. You're like, oh, I don't need this jacket on. And
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember I went up to Hollyacca once for sunset. I went up in the board shorts, just come from the beach in Maui, thinking, oh yes, I need a mountain, I'll be fine. And as I shut the door, I realised I'd locked my keys in the car. I had my board shorts, my t-shirt, because I thought I'd just get a quick picture. It was freezing. I couldn't get into the car. I had to get a lift down in the bus full of old people who were sightseeing, and then go back up at 1 in the morning with a spare set of keys. It was an interesting experience. So always take your jumper when you get out of the car if you're going up a mountain. We've got Yentil Cares by the looks of it. We can have a little word with Yentil Cares.
We
It looks
are
like
indeed.
he's
Surely.
outside, lining up.
we are just lining that up. So we will have Yentil Cares, who just took the victory there of the qualification.
We got Ice Ace on YouTube saying, hi guys, thanks for live coverage. When does the event likely start in the afternoon? They were talking at 2. Was that what I heard? 2 was kind of the planned start. I guess it depends when the wind comes in, and it will be kicking off with the IFCA Foil World Championships. We got a few, well, most of the big players are here. There's obviously a few missing. Is Amado Freestyle going to enter the foil? That's be an interesting one. Obviously, he's only here for 1 day. But yeah, we'll bring you more news on that when it kicks in.
So yeah, we will go to live to Yentil very shortly. He's there with Hannah, our press officer for the EFPT, and let's go down live to Yentil. Here we go.
Good. So Jente, you're leading qualification round number 1 with I see 7.19 air burner 360.
Yeah, it was fun.
Any comment?
I don't know, I was just having fun on the water, beautiful scenery around here. It's like, yeah, it's cool. There is really no wind, but you know, we make it happen with some nice tow wind, and it's fun.
Yeah, all the other riders seem quite impressed with your performance because you really stick the moves so well, like super clean. You want to give away your secrets?
No, not really. It's just try to land like, you know, once you're in the air, you feel power in the sail, but then once you land, you have nothing anymore. Like you can see in the background, it's glassy, there is no wind. So it's really like balancing, like try to land on the middle of the board and just stay balanced. You're used to land with power in the sail and hang back or push, and this is what you cannot do in towing, just land, try to stay straight up.
I guess the water temperature might be some extra motivation here. How is it out there?
I mean, to be honest, it's not too cold. I mean, for August it's pretty cold water, but it's not like it's freezing like up the mountains here.
Yeah, it could be worse. We're on 1,800 meters, so yeah, it might be quite chilly. But yeah, congrats on the win so far, and
Thank you.
good luck for tomorrow.
That will be fun.
Okay, so there we are. Yentil Cares, fresh from another victory, but he's only qualifying. This is 3 rounds. Just an update on when we can start the racing in the afternoon. First possible start for the IFCA Foil World Championships is 12 o'clock apparently. So from 12 o'clock onwards we can start, and I guess it will depend when that thermal wind kicks in. I guess, like I say, there is some thermal effect. It heats up one place, goes colder, the wind gets sucked through the mountain. General thermal type effect. I'm sure there's a more technical explanation, but that's pretty much what happens. Hot air rises and pulls the cold air through the valley, and then it heats up, keeps going like a big circle.
It heats up our office in here. It's like
Yeah.
an oven right now.
I was going to say, I looked outside and Hannah's got the woolly hat on. I thought,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it's just our little greenhouse we've got here.
Yeah.
It's pretty warm, although there is someone half naked out there, so it must be pretty
Under the camera, guys.
Yeah.
Chilling.
They're just getting the tan on.
Yeah, wow.
Camilio, give me a shout out. There you go. No problem. From Australia, mate. Be a bloody big gala. Looks like we've got Mr. Freestyle who is tuning up. He's still rocking that helmet. Can someone out there please sponsor this guy with a new helmet? The problem is he's very particular. He can't just wear any helmet. He needs to be a special helmet. He's had a few. He didn't like them. He's still wearing that old thing. It's like hanging on with duct tape, but that's his style. That's his style. Yeah, interesting style. But he's rocking it. He's been rocking the helmet since I can remember. He rocked up at Silt one year, and I was like, who is that nutter in the helmet? And I genuinely thought he was some punter just having a mess around. Then he went out and learnt Pascos in the space of like half an hour. And I thought, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then I met him and I thought, well, he's slightly mental, but we got him to love that in him. He is absolutely crazy. And he has been pushing the world of foil freestyle. He's coming up this afternoon in the first ever foil freestyle competition, the MB Battle. That's coming up this afternoon. But first, he's going to be entering the towing. What's his towing skills like? We're about to find out. Bulls Muller is up first. Oh, it's like a wakeboarding style, yeah. Oh, this is a warm-up session. Yeah. Okay, so it's just a little warm-up. What's that poking out of his helmet? We're about to find out. Warm-up. Oh! This Superman bomb. That was like a beautiful bomb. Look at this in slow-mo. I'm looking forward to the slow-mo here. Because this was like some serious... Oh! Body slam. That was like a WWF wrestling move. Bulls Muller opening up with the body slam. Ouch. So yeah, there we go. What's that? What's that?
Bit of local wildlife by the looks of it.
What's that sticking out his helmet? Is that? It looks like one of them.
A little flower.
Oh, obviously a little flower. Obviously that's what you'd have, isn't it? Like Silver Planner, if you don't know, we are here for the Van Ora Engadinwind by Dakine, and we are in probably the best ever place, scenic-wise, for windsurfing. There is one thing lacking in the mornings here at Silver Planner, is the wind. But it's beautiful, so you can go out, have a few beers, have a late morning, go up, have a little walk around, catch some sun, and then that thermal wind kicks in the afternoon. We're here in 12 to 15 type knots. That's kind of the wind they get up here, so it's going to be perfect for the foiling World Championships we've got coming up this afternoon, and obviously that foil freestyle battle brought to you by MB. So yeah, so it's set up really nicely, but it is glassy out there. It doesn't get more glassy than this. It is like a mill pond, as they say in England. I don't think it is a mill pond, it's too big. There's a couple of windsurfers out there actually. They're not going very fast. They're actually just standing there. But it looks quite nice. For someone who doesn't windsurf, it would be something like, oh, they're like butterflies flapping around. We've got Beard Devil saying, cannonball! That was a cannonball. If ever I've seen a cannonball, that was a cannonball. Good people staying on the toes.
Some update on the scores actually, Ben. We just had Danny Cater in here, one of the judges on the scoring there.
Okay.
He said that, let's bring those scores up. He said that the score of Yentl there, the first score you can see, the 575, was massively downgraded now.
Oh.
People may have noticed. And it was due to the fact that actually they realised the rotation was a 540 rotation.
Yes.
And not really a full double air burner. So they reduced that down, changed the name of the move.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because it was confusing me that. And that's why it was scoring so much. And then the second one came in lower than the first one. We were like, oh, that doesn't kind of make sense. But now that actually makes a lot of sense. So 575 for the first move, and then there was an upgrade on that last move to a 719, so better than his first move. 1294 sits at the top of the tree. Leonard Neubauer in second place. 631 for his last move, pretty sick as well. 1056, and then Ricardo Marca 625. This is Mr. Lufen, the Lufenator, and he's gone. This is going to be a regular stance, even though it looks switch, because oh my god, I don't know if I can watch stuff like this.
Is he okay? He's okay.
I think
okay.
That scream was me,
He's
just
okay.
in case you wondered.
That was a few screams.
Oh my
God.
That could have been very, very nasty.
My broken ankle screamed at that one.
Oh my God, my whole body screamed at that one.
Unbelievable.
He was lucky. That's the problem. You've got to keep both feet in the straps. One foot comes out, it can be disastrous consequences. Your knee can take a hit, your ankle can take a hit. It's not good. That's why you kind of need those feet to stay in. Usually it's much safer if both feet stay in or both feet come out. We saw Ball's one foot come out and he kind of managed to get the other one out and do the bail. But that looked pretty crazy. We've got Steve Rabbit on the YouTube channel. Congrats to your marriage. I haven't been married. It was a friend's wedding. But that was probably the smartest I've been since the last wedding I went to, which is a year ago. Still suit. If you are tuning in on the YouTube channel, on Windsurfing TV YouTube, or on the EFPT Facebook channel, I guess the Engadinwind as well. We've got a lot of channels. We've got Adam Sims on the decks, and he's hooked us up to nearly every channel going. We are live everywhere.
A few channels, yeah.
So
I mean, we could do more if you want. Anyone out there with a big old channel wants it on.
If you're not reading out your comments, it's because I can't keep up with all of them. We got Patrick. He's on the Facebook channel. I'm gonna have a quick look at that. It says Balls Bomb, the new move. Definitely a cannonball. I think he can own that. We got Tez saying drummers rule. Are you a drummer by any chance, Tez? Bit of drumming in your spare time. Good to see though. So I've never used the Facebook YouTube channel before because I know on the Peter Way we always use the Facebook channel, so it's kind of interesting to see how it's working. Camille on the YouTube channel says nice job on the Simmer Style brand video. I didn't do that. That was nothing to do with me. That was Simon Crowther who did the video. We're going to be putting on all the brand videos who support the channel on the off. But we're here at the Engadinwind, the Van Ora Engadinwind by Dakine. Good to see Dakine stepping up.
Yeah, actually, they were, Christian, the organiser, had Dakine for the winter event for many, many years. Big sponsor of that. It took quite a few years to convince them to support the summer event. Eventually, they stepped up and they've offered quite a lot of, support over the years.
Yeah.
For this event, and it's great to have them, with us and providing material and things like this and the rest.
I mean, they've been around a long time. Dakine, one of the original windsurfing.
I mean, they have fantastic equipment, don't they? So
Solid.
You can't complain. Great harnesses, bags, everything. So.
You get a T-shirt with Dakine on it, and you're like, it's just a T-shirt with Dakine on it, but it's cool. It's something. It's a good brand name when you can just stick your logo on it, and it goes.
They've actually also started supporting Bells as well. So Bells Muller is now supported by Dakine also. I'm
going to have a word with them because I saw they've got a Send It Dakine T-shirt.
Yeah, that's the one Bells is wearing.
I am definitely going to have a word with Mr. Dakine. Exactly. Is he here?
I don't know.
I'm going to be on the phone saying, that Send It T-shirt.
Looks like someone else on the phone before you there. She's trying to get Dakine.
They're all on the phone. Everyone's going to be wearing Dakine by the end of this. But it's a pretty sick T-shirt, I've got to say.
Here we go. Looks like more action coming in.
Oh, Mr. Bosson, from France. Bosson. Not had his best year on the Speedway Tour, but he's been sailing. Don't let the results put you off. Oh, looked like a nice, easy one for him. Just warm up. This is just the warm up run, isn't it? So
exactly.
It's just get a feel for it.
You call it a warm up, but as soon as you fall in,
it's pretty nippy out there.
No, the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty nippy.
The water is cold. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number on it, but I imagine it's around 10, 12 degrees at
best.
So,
Frosty.
yeah.
Especially because the air temperature is pretty warm. So no one's going to be doing freestyle towing in their pants then.
No, I don't think so. Unless they're very, very confident. I think we've seen that before here. We've seen the guys.
I mean, look at the mountains. Am I getting old? Right? Am I getting older? Oh, look at the mountain. But it is stunning, genuinely, absolutely stunning. I know Ben from 10 years ago, Ben Prophet from 10 years ago, probably wouldn't be caring. But now, I think it's hard not to care. It's absolutely epic. I'm going to have to do more mountain stuff. Do they have much wind? I've seen Balls Muller's getting some crazy wind on some of these lakes. Silver Planner's got the... Maybe I'm going to nick a foil later and try and go for a bit of a cruise around. Got to get a feel for the place. Quite excited. Also, we've got the famous marathon. Yes, the Silver Planner Marathon. It's been running 42 years. From my intel, it's the longest running windsurfing competition. continuously running. There's been a few other competitions out there that maybe have run longer, but they've stopped, and maybe then they've come back again. But this one, the marathon here, has been running for 42 years continuously. Should have, it's got kiting in it, windsurfing in it, sailing in it. It's the whole thing. So that's coming up on Saturday, and that is a big one.
It's really impressive, actually, the marathon. Like to watch it, I've seen it now a couple of times, and it's amazing. A big start, you know, a lot of different craft and things like this, and then you know you've got your superstar PWA, and then you've got like your old biddy on your original windsurfer, all going for it, and they go around 5 laps of the lake.
Okay.
And it takes up to an hour for the fastest guys, and
and couple of
plus.
2, 3, 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
for the original windsurfer. So
I kind of love the marathon events. For me, they are kind of the thing that I like. I've done the last
really
in
fun, yeah.
Ocean Classic Marathon, Rutland Marathon in England around the lake, also pretty cool. I think they bring together kind of everyone because it's just one big race. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you kind of do it just to finish the race, and then there's a big social afterwards because it's only one event. You're not having to wake up the next day. You can have a bit of a hangover. So it's about the social, about getting on the water and having fun, and I'm kind of all up for that, I've got to be honest.
actually, we've got Tom Hartman in here with us. Tom, do you want to give us a few words about how the towing is going at the moment, and any updates?
Yeah, what we're looking for, Tom, I'm going to bring him in because we're seeing obviously similar moves. That's the go-to moves. I guess once they've got something in the bag, we're going to see other things. We saw Mark Luthen go in regular stance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the air funnels and the burners are that went out of the strap.
Scary.
But yeah, I mean, definitely they're gonna. It's practice is the first run, so they're gonna step it up. Wow.
He did well to keep that foot and keep the pressure on the board, I guess. Sorry, I just as that happened. And can I just ask you, does Amanda Friesmith look like that Malfoy broke off Harry Potter? It's got the sweat back hairdo going on.
But you also see later on, I think, when the wind's gonna start to fill in light, you know, the guy's gonna have more pop, more height. At the moment, it's still oily water here, 0 knots. So landing and getting more pop is gonna get more easy as soon as the wind fills in slightly, which is usually around this time. It's now 11 o'clock, so 11:30. So that's the time where the thermal winds usually start to fill in.
Okay, that's interesting to know then. So they start to come through now as it starts to heat up. You can feel it's already heating up. So cheers, Tom, for that. We're going to be kicking in Bulls Muller, Marco Luthen, Adrian Bossant, Steve Van Broekhoven. Steve Van Broekhoven yet to have a warm-up run. Are we going to see a warm-up run from Van Broekhoven, or maybe he's just thinking?
To be honest, he doesn't always go for one.
No, I was going to say maybe he's just chose not to.
Yeah, he's he likes to just pull it out in the
Wait, easy.
pull out the big moves.
Steve Rabbit said, looks great mountain biking
out,
area. I'll tell you what, it is good mountain biking. I'm already getting...
Yeah.
Do we have any bikes we can borrow?
Yeah, so we were saying earlier, Mardo and Ricardo Marca both went up the mountain 2 days ago. They rocked up at dinner super sweaty. Obviously wanted to make it in time. They'd just taken some e-bikes, and they just cycled straight up the mountain with the e-bikes. You could take the lift up, but you can take the e-bike straight up. They went up to the mid station here, just above the mountain. We'll get a camera on that soon. And they just took one of the single tracks down and had a great time. So it's super good for mountain biking. When you go up with the lift, you see all these single tracks. I mean, this is like...
So I'm just going to disappear for a couple of hours. If I do disappear, I'll be off up the mountain. So that's another good thing here. If you're into foiling or into sort of lighter wind slalom, that 12 to 15 knot type stuff, which is quite cruisy weather, go mountain bike in the morning, come back down the hill, have some lunch, and then go for a sail in the afternoon. Silver Planner,
Yeah.
you're nailing it.
Yeah, you get like the nice cooler air in the morning, so it's okay better for mountain biking, isn't it? And then
I actually had a message last night saying, Ben, I'm thinking of going to Silver Planner. What's the info? I'm like, I really don't know. I've just turned up. But
watch these scenes. And
I'm
going
to say, I reckon now I can already fill in that it's got to be a place to go on the bucket list. I think. I definitely think you've got to come here once in your life. I've never really done much of the lakes. I've got to be honest, I've never been to Lake Garda either. I'm a bit of a lake man. I grew up on the lakes of Wales, Bala Lake to be specific. So I kind of cut my teeth on the lake. I don't know how I've ended up a wave sailor like that, but I have.
We're not going to get the best shot of this, unfortunately, as we're just changing batteries on another camera. But
cheese roll! He wants the cheese. Cheese roll with no wind. Now that is pretty impressive because he's already back-winded going into the cheese roll, so he's having just a pop using. That's crazy.
I mean, a little kangaroo flip.
He probably. That was the first run. Yeah. So cheese roll. Be interesting what the judges give him for that.
Discounted already. Okay, so.
Yeah, that was the first run. So impressive. Like for me, watching, that's what we want to see. We almost. I mean, from a spectator point of view, do we want to see landed moves? I kind of want to see the boys just going off and trying new stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to the super session. I like competition, but I like to see the boys pushing the limit. And if anyone's going to push the limit, Balls Muller's going to push the limit. I'm guessing he will get all right points for that because it is hard. Obviously, I don't know what points he's going to get, but it's not a funnel, and that's what I like. It's not a burner. So, still waiting for the scores to drop in. Dun, 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 dun. We're waiting for the scores. Where are you? Are you on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook site? Bill Short's on the Facebook site, by the looks of it. Great height, Amado. So, go back to the Windsurfing TV channel because we've got a few comments coming in. Tow-in wave sailing should be the next big thing.
It's been done, hasn't it?
It has been
It's been done in France. There was the PWA event. There was not so much wind one time, and they had
it was hard. I tell you, it's hard to even get
I've done it
on the stuff. I mean, obviously we did that indoor event in Gran Canaria as well at the wave pool, which was kind of what it was, and that was where again a few moves kind of got made up. I know Ricardo Campello was obviously as normal the master, just pushing the limit. With a crowd watching. He likes the crowd. He's apparently here. We are hearing Ricardo Campello is in the area. He is coming down. He will be around and about.
That is true. That is true, yeah. He's.
What's he doing?
He's been invited.
Just cruising?
They like to bring a special guest here every year. Also for the winter event where Victor Fernandez here did a heli shoot up the top. Took him up to the top of the North Face where they did the drop in for the competition. Did some interviews up there. It's fantastic. And but yeah, they like to bring a special guest. Campello's coming, and as far as I know, he's going to be doing the towing, trying it a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know about the foiling, but I know that he's going to try out some of the towing.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. Balls Muller, 3.25 coming in at 3.25. So not the biggest score, but we like it. Yeah, we like it.
See more for progression like that.
I do. And that's what's going to help. If they get bad scores, then no one's going to try it. So then we're going to see the same moves. And I don't want to say it, but come on. We want to see the boys pushing. So I think there will be something come out in the EFPT about progression and pushing the limit, because I think that's the way they're going to push this towing. I like it when Adam's sitting next to me is doing it. Obviously he's busted his ankle at the moment, but because then you see the Spock, some, like different combos, and that's for me what it's all about, just mixing it up and putting on a show. If you're a spectator and you're seeing the same moves, you're like, well, come on, I want to see something.
I just enjoy doing different things. Like, I find the funnels and the burners, like, I don't want to say they're easy, but to push that move and to take off and stuff is not so hard. The rotation is hard to control, and actually the best guys, they just pop and spin till they land.
Yes.
And that depends on how well they take off. So I just really like trying this other stuff, sliding and stuff like that. It's always hard when it's choppy, but right back to the action.
Marco Lufin lining up. Oh, he's took a different line here. What's he got for us? The Lufinator. Oh, he does like to get one foot stuck in the strap. Oh my life. If you're into Carnage or Car Crash TV, stay tuned, because we are seeing some horrible little crashes where feet come out. Oh, actually that was just an impact on the landing, to be honest. In the air, both feet still in the straps. Marco Lufin, though, it won't be a big scorer. That cheese roll is going to still be leading by my reckoning. Yeah, 181. I'm guessing that's probably one of the lowest scores you get. We saw a 181 before. And the way it is how many judges have we got? I think we've probably got 3 judges. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 judges.
3 judges. So they'll be giving it a score out of whatever. They'll times it by something, divide this, add this, plus this, take this, and then make it a score out of 10. Or I'm guessing it's a bit more complex than that. But that's how it is. That's why you're seeing these scores as they are.
Sorry for the noise in the background.
Yeah, we're just
trying to get some shade in here.
Put the blind up. It's too hot. It's too hot in the mountains. Who knew? Who knew? Well, probably people who live in the mountains knew. Me being a little town boy.
Also getting things
know.
overheating a little bit and worried we're going to drop out the stream. But it's good. We're looking good.
We got Thomas saying so good that the stream is on YouTube as well, so that we can rewind all the moves. Well, there we go. You can rewind, but we've actually got a few replays on.
We've got the replays happening, yeah. A good way is, as you know, is to do the replays also by yourself. You can do that just by sliding the slider back on YouTube. Just watch it again, and then you can come straight back to the live program. So it's a nice way to do that also, to get extra shots at it.
Yeah, it's good to see. Good to see. Let us know where you're watching from. We always like to see the comments. We've got the chat going on the YouTube. I think there is a comment section as well, but that usually the comment section is used after I think we've gone live. It gets posted as a video, so you can watch it back whenever you like. It kind of catalogues it. And I think the live chat, I think that works when you watch the video back. The live chat will come up as it came up in the live sessions. For anyone who's never watched it on YouTube before, we're on the Windsurfing TV YouTube channel. We're on the EFPT Facebook channel. I think we're on the Engadinwind, obviously, Facebook channel. And this year it's brought to you by Vanora Engadinwind by Dekine. So Dekine stepping up from the winter event, and Vanora as well, which is really good to see an outside sponsor stepping up as the title sponsor. We're obviously in Lake Silver Planner for Foil Mania. Foil Mania will be kicking off this afternoon, kicking off with the IFCA World Championships and then going into the MB Battle. And that's a freestyle foil battle. Yes, I did say freestyle foil battle, which will be very exciting to watch. It's the first time we're going to ever see that. Never had a competition in the foil freestyle before, but we will now. That's coming up this afternoon. And this, at the moment, we've got the EFPT Towing Championships. This is the first of the ranking events for the EFPT. They've had a standalone one in Austria, and this is the first of the ranking events. And this is, looks like Adrien Bosson from France. What's he got for us? I'm calling a big old air funnel just to kick things off nice and safe. There we go. Air funnel.
Bit shaky on the landing there.
For that sort of simple move, they have to land. That's what the judge is looking for. If they're rotating and they're getting lots of height, then okay, the landing, okay. But with that sort of move, I think the judge is going to be looking for perfection on the landing to get the big points. For Sail AU, Sunshine Coast, Australia, tuning in, giving us the old shaka. Well, actually, he's not. He's giving us the horns. Western Australia, looks like they're in full flow. What time is it over there? Beer o'clock or something? You're all settling down in front of the TV. Western Australia, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it in the afternoon? Yeah, in the afternoon. So just cracking open a beer after the day's outing, wrestling crocodiles and sharks and stuff. That's what they do.
Kicking kangaroos and...
Adrien Bosson, 375. So it does take down the cheese roll. I'm a bit gutted with that. It's taken down the cheese roll. The cheese roll surely should be a little bit better than that one.
I guess the cheese was pretty hard to land, so a bit of blue cheese, Stilton gone off cheese maybe.
Sunshine Coast is 8 p.m. Yeah, I thought it was. You can see the Aussies, they're in full flow. Got the drinks already flowing. Putting some shrimps on the barbie. Yes, you know you are. You're probably just looking over going, yeah, we are actually. We've already done. Next up, we've got the last run in this round. Stephen van Broekhoven like I say, fresh from his victory over in the PWA event in Fuerteventura. Really good to see Stephen back on top form. I mean, he hasn't gone anywhere, but he's had a few nasty injuries over the last couple of years. A change of sponsors. Actually switched to Gun Sales last year, and then Starboard, which actually are supporting this event as well. So got to give them a little bit of a shout out. And interestingly, it seems to have worked really well. I mean, JP must be gutted. They got rid of Stephen, Yentl as well, and they're both both smashing it this year. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen looks really comfortable. You have to say that.
Yeah.
He's really comfortable in his gear, and he's really tuned in. You see it almost like over this time, as he's got more and more used to the boards, he's really got tuned into it. So it's been...
He looked unstoppable in Furta. I mean, he got Yentl. Yentl came through on a charge, and everyone was like, wow, we got Yentl on a charge. But the Stephen, there was no doubt in my mind. After a minute, you were like, he's just in the zone.
He just had that heat dialed in, and he had everything. There was nothing really that you could complain about, like and fault really.
Yeah. No, it was impressive stuff. So
he had it all dialed in. So.
I haven't seen him today in the water. He should be there, shouldn't he?
Yeah, it's coming up next. So he's probably just hiding there behind the bushes.
Hiding in the bushes like he usually does. No, he doesn't. I'm joking. He doesn't hide in the bushes. I can hear the boat coming past. This is to create the wake for the move. They've got it dialed where the boat comes past, creates the wake, the tow in on the winch, and then Stephen van Broekhoven lining up. Here he goes. What's the big man got? Oh, it's big. Oh, it's just a nasty landing. Just jarred him as he landed. But how was the height on the first rotation?
To me, that looked a bit like he wanted to...
Stop the rotation.
I just missed that there, sorry, apologies. So to me it looked like he wanted to stop the rotation in the middle of it. Like he thought he was going to make two and then realised he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so tried to stop it and land more backwards on the water so to slide out on the water.
And it kind of just got him stuck, didn't it? Landed and just kind of stuck on the water. Stephen van Broekhoven, one of the riders that rides in boots. You know, not all the riders are riding in boots, and that does help get you stuck in the foot straps. He actually says he doesn't ride in boots for slalom, foil, or wave, but freestyle, boots. Okay. So that's quite interesting because it's kind of, I think, like I was saying earlier, you don't want to get stuck in one strap. So boots do help. Well, they can hinder you getting stuck in the strap, which is not good wave sailing. But actually, in freestyle, you want to be pretty much wedged in. As long as one doesn't come out, you're pretty good. The problem is with boots, if one comes out, you're going to struggle to get the other one out. So let's hope that doesn't happen. 2.94. So Adrian Bossant leading. Not the big moves we saw from the first tee, or kind of big names of freestyle windsurfing, but towing wise, they've not really had their best first round there. I've got Max Penny on YouTube saying it's paradise. If you're thirsty, you can drink the water directly from the lake.
You literally can, yeah.
Really?
Yep, you can. The water's so clean you can just...
I'm pretty thirsty.
Stop for
I might go for a drink. Just get a straw. Just bring a straw, big long straw.
From here.
Sit at the side.
The hose.
That's pretty epic. If you don't know where we are, we're in Lake Silverplana for the Venora Engadinwind by Dakine. Like I say, we have got Foil Mania coming up. Yes, I did say Foil Mania. We've got the tow in right now. Kicking off. This is the EFPT, and this is the last round of the towing. We've got 2 more runs for each rider, 4 riders in it, so we've got 8 more runs, and then we'll be going into the afternoon's activities, and that is going to feature foil freestyle for the MB Battle, and it's also going to feature the IFCA Foil World Championships. Yeah, a bit of racing. The wind is set to kick in as we get to around about this time of day, apparently. That's when that thermal kicks in. Hot air rises, sucks in cold air from down the valley. Yes, that's what it does.
Oh, yes.
The thermal wind.
Been doing your geography then.
I have. What else does Max Penny say? It's very nice for mountain biking sessions. Half an hour driving. You're on the glacier for snowboarding. I mean, tell you what, he should work for the tourism board. I'm in. I'm already in. Here we go. Next rider. Coming up, it's Bulls Muller. What's he got for us? Is he going to go safe? Oh! Oh my life!
Wow.
That was
amazing. That was amazing.
Surely
look at that. Look at his face coming into it.
So
grimacing.
aggressive.
Look how he goes.
How's the
That's triple rotation. Triple spin.
You got to give him that.
That is insane.
That's the best move we've seen today. What are you calling it?
That's double air funnel 360, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
making.
think.
Yeah, it could come in.
I mean, I'm looking at the rotation. I think it's they're not going to give it like a new triple move, triple air move, because the last one was on the water. I mean, Bowles knows it as well when he watches it.
For sure.
He knows that, so.
But that was massive.
That was impressive, huh?
Impressive
He's gonna
stuff.
be stoked
Balls
on
Muller.
that.
I mean, like I say, you don't see that in the outside, do you? Well, you do actually. You're lying. You do. But you don't see it as often.
The equivalent would be like the Pasco 360.
Yeah.
And actually, Bowles has done even like the
Tabasco.
Tabasco, yeah.
Tabasco, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think that's what the boys were calling it.
That's right. Yeah.
There we go. That's what we've got. Look it up. That's the glacier up there. And this is Adrian Bosson. We're waiting for that score to come in for Balls Muller, but 100% he's in the lead. That's the biggest move. Well, I've seen. I'm not the judge, but from what we've seen here in the commentary booth, that is definitely the move to beat right now. We'll wait for the live scores. If you want to see the live scores coming in, you can go to the EFPT.net, and the live scores will come in there as well. And they will actually say what the move is, so you get a little bit of an insight. We've got 3 runs from each of these 4 riders. This is the second run kicking off Balls Muller with a solid effort. Still waiting for the scores to come in. I mean, how do they penalise the landing? They can't. I mean, that was landed. It's done. I mean, I don't, because in towing, obviously the landing is a bit different.
That's got to be, I really believe something like that should be given
10.
A 10.
Yeah, me too.
If there was something else equally as impressive, then fine.
Yeah.
Have 2 10s and have a showdown.
Yeah, I'm in. That's my way of thinking.
Yeah.
I think we should do that in the wave as well. Because some people say, yeah, but you can't give it a 10 because what if he'd done it one-handed? You're like, well, if he does it one-handed, they both get a 10. It's still...
And if he does it one-handed, what if he does? Then you don't give a 10 because what if he does it no-handed?
Yeah.
You know, so you can always have that argument. And
it's the same with the wave. You know, someone does a 360 and then a big turn. There's something they go, yeah, but he could have done a goiter on the end.
Yeah.
You'll never give away 10s if you think like
I'm all for giving more 10s.
I'm totally with you. Because
all for that.
Also, media-wise, afterwards, check out this 10 from Balls Muller. It's got a little nice ring to it. Check out this 9.58 or something. It's not got the same.
Not quite the same.
We're going straight in, are we? The boat's coming round.
Yeah.
The score's not in yet, but we've got... Oh, someone didn't make it. Was that Miss Luther?
So what that means, it doesn't mean that that's the run that counts.
Okay.
They're allowed one sort of fall on the way to the wave, on the way to the takeoff. Obviously, if you release, take off, and have a bit of a weird crash, that counts. But if you fall on the way, then that's given as you're allowed a restart.
Okay.
But once, only once.
They're still waiting for that score. I thought we'd drop in. Hopefully it's coming in pretty soon. So wait for that score to drop from Balls Muller, the crazy Swissman, in his home patch. Well, it's not quite his home patch, but it's not far away. You don't see many crazier than Balls Muller. Still waiting for the scores.
Looks like we've got Luffy coming back in hot.
Okay, Lufinator on the duotone finale. What's he got for us? Oh no! That looked a scary takeoff.
Oh my god.
I mean, Luffy has definitely got the prize for the biggest crashes today, but that nearly split the kipper right there. Oh my life. He's nearly lost it as he went in. Somehow brought it back. And then that was
really right there between the legs for a moment, wasn't it? Just
Family
before he hit the
chills.
water, you thought it was going.
His girlfriend would have been looking at that thinking,
Nose to
well,
the
that's
balls.
the kid's gone. That's going to have to find a new boyfriend. Hopefully we froze the eggs. Okay. Well, there we go. Still waiting for the score for Balls Muller. We won't be waiting for the score from Marco Lufin because that's going to go down as a crash, but a pretty good one. And we all like a good crash, that's for sure. Come on. They're holding out on us for this scores. Maybe it's so big, the score, they can't get it through the live feed. It's just a massive score. It's not massive. It's just an air funnel 720 coming in at 738. They are measly with the scores. They're holding all the points for later.
Extremely harsh, I would say.
Jesus,
yeah, of course it's an air funnel 720, but it's an extra 360 at the end, so it's a...
From what we've seen today, that deserves to be in the final. So for me, I'd look at the scores and go, well, we want him in the final with moves like that. Give him a 10.
Yeah.
Boom.
I believe there should be that 10 button, that magic 10.
Yeah.
And
From what we see, we've got to judge on what
Yeah.
we've seen today. If
Exactly.
things are being lit up already, and this isn't the final, we have to remember.
Yeah.
This is well, it's the prelims.
I mean, what do you guys think at home? Is
Yeah,
that a
let us
worthy
know.
score, or should it be a 10?
I mean, that seems hard to get a 10 then,
Mm.
because that's a quarter of the way off.
Yeah, I mean, what's he got to do?
Can you times that? You know, if
Maybe
you
the whole thing no-handed without clothes.
My life, you have to find some points there.
Interesting.
Why are you crying? Yes, why are you crying? Marky Luford definitely going to be crying after that. The Nutcracker. Like it. The Nutcracker, that's a 10. For sale AU says that's a 10. That's a 10. But it's not a 10. We know it's not a 10, but it should be, surely. We want to see 10s. We're biased here with the comedy move. I like to get excited about windsurfing. 10s makes me excited.
10s all round.
10s! Come on, give us a 10. The Nutcracker. There's a few people been pulling off the Nutcracker over the years.
Had a couple. Had a fin right there before trying the willy skip, but that stopped me trying it for about 5 years.
I broke my toe doing a willy skip. Landed on my toe. Here we go. What have we got?
This is not Bals Muller, is it? So
No. This is
take that score.
Bosson.
Adrien Bosson.
Adrien Bosson. Here he is. What's he got for us? I'm calling a big move. Adrien Bosson. Yeah, solid from the Frenchman. I think he just wanted to put something solid in. He's like,
Yeah.
I've got that move down. Let's just whack it out, get it done with.
Get some scores on the
Yeah.
the doors. There we go.
Nice.
You see him rotating around, nice.
Well, it's going to be lower than a 738.
Yeah, it's like
Five.
it's similar. You know what it's similar to is Yentl's first move of the day,
Yes.
which they actually considered as a double burner. Then they realised it was a 540 rotation, and actually gave it the the air burner 540 720.
I didn't actually see what they give it in the end. They changed it around.
It's like a burner 720. So I imagine we're going to see around 575 around that.
Yeah. Looking at what we scored for balls, we can kind of take a few points off. And then we're kind of left in the 5 range, so I would guess 5.5. Oh, there it is. Comes in. 5, 6, 3. Maybe I could be a judge. I just have a higher scale. I would have a 10 and a 7.
There we go. So just up a little bit now. 5, 6, 9 all adjustments. So yeah, I mean it was similar to the Entel's move early on in the day. So makes sense really.
Right, so yeah, if you're joining us right now, that is the view out of the commentary box. Yes, that's the glacier up there. It's pretty high, but we're down on the Lake Silverplana for the Vanora Engadinwind by Dakine. Yes, Foil Mania kicking off this afternoon. At the moment, we've got the EFPT foil competition. Bulls Muller leading the way in this second elimination. Adrien Bosson in second. Luford has had some most spectacular crashes we've seen today. 169 for that second one. That's harsh. That was pretty nasty. I think the Nutcracker is a new move. I think I would have given them a few more points.
I think a couple of extra points, to take home to the bar. And
Steven van Broekhoven up next though, and he has got the moves. I remember seeing him doing quadruple rotations back when it kicked off in Silt one year. He was just spinning
back
for
then
fun.
it was all about like a lot of popping moves,
Yeah.
not so much aerial rotations.
Would that score well now? Because I would imagine with the glass here,
If you still bounce a lot and do a lot of rotations, it does still score well, of course. So it is, it's well worth him doing. But they're offering the wave here, and with the wave, it's kind of expected that you have to use it.
Yeah.
This is why I kind of like the idea of using the wave, but doing something before it, and then taking off the wave,
Yeah.
I've also done double culo like that, where you do a culo before it, land on the wave, and culo straight off it again. And if you get it right, I mean, you get such crazy pop on the second one, but also it really takes a lot of attempts to get it right, and quite a bit of luck, to be completely honest. So.
Okay, here we go. Steven van Broekhoven. What's he got for us? All booted up. Oh, he's taking a different line in here. He wanted to be closer to the boat. Maybe he went a bit different. Didn't quite look his usual comfortable self. You see that?
Checking the shot around now, you're going to see a little race drone fly by. There it is, in the shot.
Wow, another hard landing for Van Broekhoven.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Jolted right as he landed.
didn't really get the pop he was wanting by the looks of it, to be honest.
Probably wanted you to spin around, maybe go higher and kind of go for the air move, but without the forward speed as much, because he kind of carved upwind a different angle. Interesting.
Crazy, man.
We've got comments saying, do they have to run certain sail sizes? Is 4.8, 4.4? No, 4.4 usually? What's the...
4.4 is really common to use, It's this small, easy to throw around sail, so this is why we use it a lot. It's, you know, and you don't really... When you use the 4.8, you don't really get extra lift.
So it just ends up being a bit more clumbersome.
Yeah, also because the 4.8
drag.
rigs with the 400 mast and the 4.4 rigs with the 370.
Okay.
So it's also a little bit more weight, extra swing weight, because you've got the longer mast as well. So, you know, if you imagine that extra bit of mast is right at the end of the sail, that's going around a big circle as you whip through the move. So if you have a shorter mast, it's a smaller circle that you're spinning on. So
makes sense.
And the lift you get is fairly similar. So I've seen like Amado take 4.8 sometimes, and even people trying 5.2s, but they always come back to 4.4s. So.
Well, scores coming in for Van Broekhoven, 2.19. Judges didn't like that. No, he's in third place at the moment, and that is after 2 runs. 1 run left for everyone, so they're consistent with their scores. You know, we were moaning, they didn't give him a 10, Bulls Muller, but everyone has kind of been, downgraded from that. So I'd like to see a 10 today. I think that moves we've seen, Bulls Muller definitely deserve it, and he should be coming up next. I'm thinking one of the true guys who is a helmet wearer. Does he ever take the helmet off? That's my question.
On occasion, I've seen him without it, but then I don't really recognise him.
Does he have hair?
Out to me.
Does he have hair?
Yeah, he does, but it's just in the shape of the helmet, so it's all bald where the helmet is, and then the hair just kind of...
I thought maybe there was some operation back in the day, and then when he takes that helmet off, his brain is just, or whatever was left of it,
is exposed.
It's still
So you can put in the other loose screw.
Just depends what day it is, which brain he puts in. He can change it. But he's looking, you can say what you want about Balls. He comes across with this crazy nut of it, doesn't know what's going on. But actually, he's pretty switched on, isn't he, Ballsy? Really. He's just got this outwardly, what do we say, craziness. But he knows what's going on. Don't let him kid you. You see his talk on foiling. He knows what he's on about at this point. He's been putting the work in, and here he goes. Balls Muller. Boom! It's big, it's whippy.
Whoa.
He is just looking on it, isn't he? Looks...
That one was amazing. And check the cameraman as well. He was super close on the landing.
Woof. How is just the whip he gets?
Look at that one. Look at the cameraman go underwater as the fin goes over his head.
Can we have another replay?
Unfortunately not. You have to do that on YouTube.
Oh my life. Did he nearly take him out then?
It looks a bit like it. It was really close. Yeah, if you want to see that one again, I mean, there's a bit of time between now and the next run. The best way is now just to slide it back on YouTube, have a quick look. And
if you're on Windsurfing TV YouTube channel, just slide it back, have a look, because it's definitely worth looking. That is for sure. I mean, the man is going off right now. That was big. Was it the same move, though?
No, the one before was more upright, wasn't it? More, as far as I remember, it was like air funnel rotation. This one's a burner rotation as he took off. So,
so
this is the kind of, I mean, this is probably where they're going to give the double air burner score. Even though, in my opinion, it's more like just an air burner 720.
Yeah.
But they'll most likely give it that score and then the extra score because of the.
So what's making him spin more? Is it the board? I mean, MB sponsoring the foil freestyling. He's on the MB boards.
It's certainly the shorter boards.
Makes a difference, doesn't it, to the rotation speed? Yeah. I think it'd be quite interesting to have a look at that board later. I'm sure we're going to be buzzing around. We're going to be here for the next 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got the marathon coming up on Saturday. Pretty sure the marathon's Saturday. Just better make sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah. We got super session for the foiling on the Sunday. We've got the final on the Saturday, and then we've got the qualifying rounds, which we've got today and tomorrow. And these are the last runs. It looks like Bulls Muller will be definitely in the final. We're still waiting for that score to come through, but it's got to be right up there. Is it going to be in the 8s? Are we going to see the first 8 of this competition? soon find out. We're going to have a little interview with him as well, I think. As long as we don't cut over the next rider, let's hopefully we'll show the run and then do the interview. But let's see. Just looks like Lufen's getting ready. If you want to see a good crash, it's probably a good chance. Looking at what we've seen so far, it looks like he's put the grease on the foot straps today. So hopefully maybe needs to borrow Steven van Broekhoven's boots.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is make sure we go to the interview after the next rider. Luffy's about to go, so and then as soon as Luffy's done, we'll go straight into an interview with Bals Muller. He's right here on the beach in front of us.
Oh, there we go. 894 air funnel, air funnel. So kind of what you said, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Coming in. So that's the biggest score we've seen today, and Bals Muller 100% will be in that final. Well, not 100% actually, because we do have 3 more runs from each of those riders tomorrow, so someone could totally smash it, but for me, he's got to be in the final with that. Here we go. The Lufenator, Marco Lufen from Germany. Oh, nearly nailed it, but just buckled on the landing. Couldn't quite hold the pressure.
Just watch this replay now as he comes in. He's just getting he's got a lot more pop since the first ones, right?
That looked good. It's just the landing came down
Rotation
really
looks
hard.
yeah.
Like when you under-rotate a ponch sometimes, you don't quite get the pop. That second rotation looked like that. Just a little bit low and then pushes on. So we're going to have an interview next up with the man, the myth, the legend, the crazy, this nutter out there, Bals Muller.
Down to Bals Muller, here we go.
I can't hear anything.
Holy shit!
Oh, it's been lost
I know
in the
I
sound
shouldn't say that. But
corrected
hey,
now.
I was
Just as Bell's
holding
talking.
this far on the wind.
I can't hear
shot
nothing.
Matthias, and
I can hear him out the
my
window.
eyes, they were blurry. Like I didn't saw anything where I actually was going. I just knew I don't want to hit the rocks. And you're going so fast. I don't know. My lossy kit. This winch is extreme, extreme. No, and I think it's it goes so quick you don't even know what's happening. And we see often just this air funnel rotation because it's just going too fast, and it's pretty scary.
But you're quite well known to be a very extreme windsurfer. So how scary is that in comparison to like a really overpowered day on the water?
I actually feel more comfortable being 3-3 fully overpowered than holding onto this winch, because I think it's double the speed we normally use, and if we hit the wave proper, like the good ramp, I mean it's not a good wave behind a Zodiac boat, but imagine we would have a Mastercraft, you would fly out the orbit. For sure.
And can we talk about your first move, because you did the first ever cheese roll in towing competition. Did you ever try that before?
No, we were joking there with the riders, and we were thinking, hey, everyone is doing the same thing. We should get some variety in it. So I was thinking, fuck, I should actually do the cheese roll, and I can do the cheese roll blind without hands, no hand, one-handed. So I was thinking this move should be possible, but it's not that easy. And I also delayed a bit the takeoff because I was a bit scared. I don't know what's going to happen. So it was a bit too.
But you think it's possible to land it?
I think it's possible, and we were joking. Imagine holding on to the bar, doing the cheese roll, and still holding on, and then fully planing through it. That would be sick. That would be sick. All right, next round is on.
Okay, back to you guys.
Okay, back in, Bals Muller. Says that winch is absolutely on fire. So it's obviously pretty quick. It's changed from the first winches we had. I think those ones were a little bit slow, and there was a bit of time in between. But this thing now seems like they've perfected it, and it is kicking out some power. And here we go. This is
Adrien Bosson.
Bosson. Yeah, Bosson. What's he got for us, the Frenchman? Absolute freestyle ripper. Oh, it's big and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect, and he's not even going to get wet. Absolutely nailed that thing. Here we go. This is the replay. Bomb. Oh, it's perfect. Got the nose down on the second rotation there, just to control things, to save it whipping round uncontrollably. But that was right up there. Not the third rotation we saw from Muller, but just absolute perfection on the landing. And the judges are going to reward that. Obviously, being in control of the landing after 2 complete rotations is no mean feat, that is for sure. Right, we'll wait for that score to come in. Yeah, so just looking at our overall scoreboard at the moment, it's Bulls Muller leading 738, Air Funnel 720, and with his last run, Air Funnel 894, highest score of the day, 1631 sitting at the top. Adrian Bosson has just whacked in another big score, and it's going to be right up there towards the excellent, well, in the excellent range, no doubt about it. And he looks like he's booked himself into the next round, the way the scores are going from the other boys. But obviously we have got another qualifying session tomorrow, and it'll be exactly the same format. 3 runs from each rider, 7 points, so he gets in to the magical 7 points. Anything in the 7s is absolutely excellent, and we saw that perfection there. Like I say, I'd like to see the scores just upped a little bit. I'd like to see some big scores being thrown.
Yeah,
down.
I want to see the scores pushed also a little bit. I totally agree. Like,
you feel like, what else can you do? Like some of these things, like, you know, what is a 10?
Yeah.
If Bulls Muller's is 894, what is a 10?
Yeah. I think what the restriction is not the judges. I'm sure they're giving them 10s. It'd be nice to see the scores of the judges. But I think what the restriction actually is the technical difficulty assigned to the move actually by the riders. You know, we sat together and made averages of the moves. Of course, with the idea that, you know, a double forward or a push forward or something is up in the 10 range.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's not possible here. But then we need to rescale and adjust.
Yeah, it makes sense, because
really,
I thought that could have been the problem if we did that with the PWA. But we'll speak more about that in a second. This is Steve van Broekhoven. Took a bit of time to get his feet correct there, but he looks like he's set up now. Last run for Stephen van Broekhoven. Oh, it looked like Air Funnel jumping into Funnel, was it? I didn't
hopping like crazy behind the tree.
Yeah, he's behind the
tree. So yeah,
tree.
it was Air Funnel. This one's an Air Funnel behind the tree, and then another one pops, and another one, a triple.
So he did the triple, okay.
Yeah, so triple.
And that's what I remember seeing him at the first towing events. He was just bouncing and bouncing. I remember calling him the king of pop. But maybe didn't get the pop he wanted on the first one and had to kind of adjust. And that's what Van Broekhoven is good to do, because he kind of looks upset, like, I couldn't get ready, but he sort of turned that into a solid triple scoring move. Now, what else have we got? We got Roper saying there's a race. The race is on this afternoon. We'll be coming into that. We got Twan Von Berg on YouTube, says ripping. I already got it, but what the board do you think they should be doing?
I'm going to do a test.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking now. It says there's a few questions coming on YouTube. We're going to catch up in a second. I think we've got one rider to go, haven't we? Oh no, maybe that was the last one. That was the last rider. So Steve van Broekhoven waiting for his score to come through.
So surely we'll go down for an interview with Adrian Bosson then. I think we've got him down here in front. Let's head on down to Bosson. So over to Hannah, who has Bosson there on the lakeside.
Seen for a while. How does it feel to be back?
It feels weird actually. Like when we started, there was really no wind. I was a bit stiff, you know. You got to warm up. I had one warm-up run, which was not so good. Then I had my first 2 tries, and then on the last one, I could really find the timing between the boat, the wave, when you let go the winch. And I think the last try was good. And I mean, it's fun to win. Like when there's some big moves, it's always good feelings, and I enjoy it, especially here in Silva Plana between the mountains. It's really nice.
Yeah, we saw you had a little bit of a rough start here, and you're quite well known, or you were very well known to be really an expert in this discipline, but you used to do it with a jet ski a lot. So is it the first time you did it with the winch?
No, the winch, we used to do it. I came here 6 years ago, and we had like this kind of winch with a tractor, you know, and it was like first time back in the days we used that kind of towing stuff. But like, yeah, it's been a long time I didn't do towing, because the last year we had a lot of wind during all the events, so we do less towing in the end. And with the wave, it's a special technique as well. I think you have to be really behind the boat, as close as you can. And like this, you have the steep ramp and the good lift to do your moves. And no, it's fun to do it again. It's fun. I do it once a year, so it's always good.
Cool, well done, and we see you again on the water tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good, back to you, Adam.
Okay, so there we go. Results are in. It's official from the first qualifying run. This is the second elimination. Bulls Muller takes the win, deservedly so as well. He was absolutely on fire. Air Funnel 720 and Air Bernal Air Funnel 16.31. Second place, Adrian Bosson, busting out that big Air Burner 360 on the last, getting 7 points, and a Burner 360 for the first one. I'm not sure if you can count a burner and an air burner 360. Can you count that for the qualification? Because I thought they said they had to be different, but maybe with the air burner is different to a burner. We'll get confirmation on that. Steve
Yeah, it's an interesting
Brockhoven.
one. Be surprised if they both count because
yeah.
you shouldn't really count the same move twice. You know?
Yeah, that's what we were hearing when we
Same
first did
family.
it.
So.
Unfortunately, Lufin didn't quite get his stuff together. He's going to have to rely on another 3 runs tomorrow if he's going to get into the final. We're going to lose 2 riders from 8. Obviously, that was the second 4. We had the first 4 up before. We had Leonard Neubauer, Jeremy Plus, Yentel Kers, Ricardo Marker. Yentel Kers taking it, Ricardo Marker and Leonard Neubauer also second and third. And then Jeremy Plus was a no-show. Missing in action somewhere in the Swiss mountains. Well, he's not lost, don't worry. We will find him, but he might rock up tomorrow and put on the show. So yeah, that is how it's looking. We've got 6 riders at the moment in qualifying positions, and then we'll have a final on Saturday. And then there'll be a super session, which is when people can cut loose and they can try a little bit of something outside the box. Because we did see a cheese roll from Bulls Muller at the front, which is actually pretty hard, but only scoring 3.25. So I didn't think he was going to try that again. So yeah, that's how we're looking. So we got a few questions coming on YouTube. What have we got? We got Roadrunner Mac saying windsurfing without wind. Please delete the water as well. Oh come on, it's apparent wind. Still windsurfing, just apparent windsurfing. There's wind. There's definitely wind. Okay. Well, we'll go through rest of the comments, but I think we're going to have a break now until we kick in to the foil race. Yeah, the IFCA World Championships. Over the next 4 days, we will crown a world champion in the foiling discipline. So that will be racing this afternoon. We've also got the MB Battle coming up for foil freestyle, the first ever foil freestyle competition. Obviously, Bulls Muller, his brother Jacob, and a few others we're going to be entering. That's going to be interesting. But that is it for the morning's antics. Thanks to everyone for tuning in on the different channels, and join us for the racing this afternoon and that MB foil freestyle battle. Until then, see you soon.
Music got the best in me ever since I was a child. Now it's showing its ugly face. What can I do? Music creeps into my dreams, wakes me into sweaty sheets, abandons me when nights died out. What can I do? What can I do? Stop this, get right. Stop this, get right. Stop this, get right. Stop this, get right.